Hello everybody, hope you well, hope you're fantastic. My name is Gavin Mkabela and I just wanted to welcome you to my YouTube channel, Gav Talks Property and Finances. Now, if this is your first time on this channel, I just wanted to say welcome and ask you where have you been. But anyway, you're here now, so feel at home, and please don't forget to subscribe. So press that red button below and subscribe so that you can get notification on the new videos that I'll be dropping going forward. Now, of course, please also tell your family and friends as well, your bae, your neighbors, also tell them to subscribe so that they can also benefit from the amazing content that is available on this channel. Now, for those that are not new, you are subscribers to this channel, I just wanted to say thank you so much, and I hope that the content provided definitely adds some spice to your personal finance and property journey. So thank you so much to you as well. Now, today I want to talk about something very important when buying property. Now, I want to talk about market value. Now, I'm sure a lot of the times you hear people talking about, I bought this property below market value, or this property is overpriced, and you're wondering what exactly is this market value. So I'll be touching on market value today, especially when you're looking to buy property. And this could be buying property for primary use, so meaning that you want to live in that property, or you're buying the property for investment purposes, looking to turn it into a business and getting rental income and chakura, from that property. It doesn't matter, both ways, it doesn't matter. This video is for you. Now, firstly, let's define what market value is. Right now, the beauty about the era in which we live in is that whatever that you're looking for, you want the definition of market value, you can pretty much just type in and it will give you a whole lot of definitions there. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to summarize the definition of market value as being an average price that people are willing to pay for a particular property type in a particular area. Right? So an average price that people are willing to pay, for a particular property type in a particular area. So for me, that's what, when we simplify what market value is exactly that. So it's an average price that people are willing to pay for a certain particular area, for a certain particular type of property in a particular area. All right. So that's exactly that. Now, let's make it, let's simplify it. All right, let's simplify it. So let's say now Gavin is looking for a 2-bedroom flat with 1 bathroom and 1 carport. All right, so we're not going to be technical around the square meters and everything else. So let's just bring it at that. Now, I want to also just advise you that I'll be doing a lot of video follow-ups around just to be technical, with a lot of things around costs, around what are the things that you need to be looking out for when you are going in depth in calculating whether or not you want to buy within market value, below market value, especially if you want to buy below market value. So I'll be breaking it down. But now let's work on the 2-bedroom flat with 1 bathroom and a carport. All right, so this is the carport. All right, let's say I want to now buy this property in the east. So without being technical, we'll just have the north and the east. All right, so I want to buy this 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom with a carport in the east. Right, so let's say now the average price of 2-bed, 1 bathroom with 1 carport in the east is 600,000. All right, so that is our market value. So that's what normally people pay for a 2-bed, 1 bath with a carport in the east. It's 600,000, right? So that is now your market value. So now the question is, but how would I know that this 600,000 is what people normally are willing to pay for this 2-bed, 1 bathroom in the east with 1 carport? Now, there are 3 platforms that I'm going to touch on today. Now, of course, there's more, but we're just going to be working on these 3 for today. So just to simplify it. So as I said, this is just an overview. So you have a pretty much picture of what you are dealing with. Okay. So now the first one that we need to look at is the property listing portals. So property listing portals. So that will be the first one. All right. So now if you go on the internet, you now have property listing portals where normally these are sites where people advertise, properties, whether selling, whether renting. You find agents there, you find private sellers, you find buyers, so these are basically sites that are, put in place that you can use to be able to, when you're looking for property. So these days, the beauty about these portals is that they become specific in terms of, you can put in specifications within the site. So for example, if I want to get technical really, and I would punch in 2-bed, 1 bathroom, the square meters, I want it, like I don't know if you can put in the color, but you can be specific and put in a carport, and it can give you exactly in terms of properties that have been listed with the types of specifications that you have now included in your search. So you can definitely be able to do that, and when you now put in that, it will give you all these properties within that particular specification that are for sale within that particular area, which is fantastic. So when you're now going through all of these listings, you can pretty much see what is the average price, because you're gonna see a lot of them will say maybe for this is 600, maybe one will say 650, but it will be playing around that part, around the 600. So that's what it will definitely give you. So that's the one way that you can establish how to find the 600,000, so to speak. So that's number 1. Number 2, you can use local agents. So using local agents. So I also really recommend this, because this is where now you can actually, drive around the area, take numbers of the agents, or you can even find them on the net and then engage with them personally. What I would then suggest on top of that is that at least you engage with 3 and more agents, right? So the more the better, so that at least you get to have an understanding of where the market is playing at. So you can give them the specs, all of them, then they will give you their listings, and then you have a pretty much picture in terms of what the price is all about. All right, so it's also nice when you're dealing with local agents, because that's their area, they deal with that area, so they know it inside out a lot of the times, and they will be able to give you proper guidance from that part. So using local agents, a lot of them of course will also be listed on the property listing portals, but it's also just nice to engage with them one-on-one. All right, and then the third one will be property reports. And then these, of course, you get them, there are companies that strictly that's what they do. They collect data around property sales, everything property related in different areas. There are those companies that do that, so you can pretty much go into those platforms. A lot of the times they sell these reports, but they give you a much thorough detail in terms of how many properties been sold in a certain period, for how much, the specs and everything else. So you can get that data, from these property companies that provide these property reports. Now, I think a lot of property listing portals also provide that. So you can also go into those, and then you can see that you need to pay for those reports, which at the end of the day, is paying for your peace of mind, really, so that when you go and negotiate with the seller, where are you negotiating at. So I would definitely look at these 3. As I said, there's a lot of them, but just for the sake of this video, this we'll work on these three, which I feel is very, very important. So that's pretty much how you then would get to what the market value is. And then when you get there, of course, depending on what are you buying that property for. So if, for example, you want to buy that property below what the market dictates, so you want to buy it below market value, so ideally you would want to buy that property below 600,000, and that's where you can actually say, oh, I bought it at the bargain, or I bought it at the discounted price. But of course, with the follow-up videos, I'll be touching on the costs that you also need to factor in before you make you put in that offer to the seller. So what are the costs that you need to then be able to factor in before you make the offer to the seller? And of course, this will also depend on the type of properties that you are buying. Are you buying from an existing buyer, from an existing seller, or an existing owner, or are you buying into a new development? So all of those things you also need to be able to know so that you have an understanding in terms of how you need to approach basically that sale and that negotiation with the owner. So this is absolutely important. So just to recap, so market value is pretty much the average price that people are willing to pay for a certain property type in a certain area. And then of course we then look at the three platforms that I've listed here to then come up to the 600,000, which will then our market value for a 2-bed 1-bathroom with a 1 carport in the east. Number one, it will be your property listing portals, which you can get on the net, so you can type in exactly your specifications around exactly the property that you are looking for. Number two, you use local agents within that specific area, possibly 3 and more, because they can give you an understanding in terms of where the market is sitting at. And then the last one will be property reports. So again, you can go on the net, you can be able to get properties that provide data for property in specific areas, and that can also assist you. So as I said, a lot of the times you're going to pay for that, just like a lot of property listing portals do have that functionality where you can be able to purchase a property report. It will give you all the data that you would need, which is very, very important. So I hope this definitely helps you. Always ask yourself when you are buying, what is my market value? So that at the end of the day, you are not buying below market, you're not buying over market value, probably. There's certain areas that you would actually buy over market value, and I'll cover those things in the upcoming or follow-up videos. But ideally you want to buy below, so that you are sitting with equity there. When you now want to sell the property, you can sell it at the profit, or you can refinance it, right? So those are the things we'll be covering in the follow-up videos. But today we are dealing with market value. I hope that you have an understanding. If you have a question, please drop it below. And as I said, please don't forget to subscribe so that you can then be able to be notified on the upcoming or follow-up videos coming through. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this as much as I did. Gavin Mkabela, I'm signing up. May you have an amazing and incredible day further. See you on the flip side.